Hey, this is Chubbs. Back finally after a long but unintentional break with a new video. As I was working on the sequel to my Sasquatch series, I realised this particular part wasn't conducive to my usual style of visuals due to the esoteric topics covered in the interviews that it's based around. But it needed some kind of eye candy, so I decided to enhance some Sasquatch photos and footage I found on the net. Soon enough, it turned out that I'd spent twice as much time on that than I had the rest of the video. But I had found some interesting stuff which I thought was worthy of making into a video of its own. I'll start with my enhancement of this 2015 video called Sasquatch Caught Looking Through the Window. The guy who captured this had noticed that fruit had been disappearing from his trees outside, and he'd been noticing some crazy stuff happening, so he put a camera in his window. This is what it caught. Thinker Thunker has done an excellent breakdown of this footage, which is well worth watching, but my enhancement has brought up some details that I think you'll find quite interesting. As I start fading to my enhanced version, I start to notice that this guy's head is way too big. Look at the distance between his eyes compared to the width of what we can see moving in the window. There's got to be something wrong. It turns out the two light sources that are shining at the back of this guy are casting a shadow onto the windows. That goes all around them on both sides, and I think there's a bit of reflection in there as well. I spent a long time looking at this and hours trying to get this enhanced well enough that we could find some facial features. And I found a few frames in which they started popping out, and having looked at that for a while, much longer than I care to admit, I realised that I could actually see the proper outline of this dude's head. So I started cutting around that so we can get a better idea of what this guy looks like. It turns out that this guy is starting to look like the typical type 1 or paddy type Sasquatch. You got the sloping forehead, the big brow ridge, sunken in eyes, like it says on the screen. So I thought that was pretty cool. And after doing that, I thought, wow, I quite enjoy doing enhancements. Here's a video posted by the Squatch dog. It's some footage from the Wayne National Forest in Ohio taken in 2013, and it's entitled Sasquatch Filmed on a Ridge, Clearly a Massive Bigfoot. We'll see about that. I've stabilized it and enlarged it and enhanced it as best as I can. Obviously, we're losing a lot of resolution because it was only posted at 480p. But already we can see that it's got that loping gait, like a massive stride, and it seems to never quite extend its legs. So let's compare it to some footage that I believe to be genuine, the Patterson-Gimlin footage. Amazingly, when I match it up at the same part of the stride and overlay it, it's almost a perfect match. I'd have to say this is genuine. This dude captured a Bigfoot. Finally, I'm going to show you the first and only ever Sasquatch filmed in New Zealand. So we're told anyway. I've done my best to enhance it. It still looks pretty shitty, but we can see that massive loping gait, long stride, big exaggerated swing of the arms, and is built like a bodybuilder. Obviously we can't say for sure, but I'm feeling reasonably positive that this could be the native moehou, which is obviously New Zealand's Sasquatch alternative. The early settlers in New Zealand were warned away from certain remote areas of bush by the native Māori, who said there was some giant hairy man-beast type creatures living there that even their fiercest warriors were absolutely no match for. But some of the European settlers in gold rush times didn't take heed to the Māori's warnings. There's legend of some gold prospectors in the area found looking half eaten and like they'd been mauled by some massive animal. And there was a woman found near her hut by her husband returning home from a day's gold panning, also half eaten, and her head had been ripped clean off. There's no other animals in New Zealand that could come close to doing that kind of damage. I think the only native mammal we have here is a small bat. Not even a vampire bat. But we did have these giant 3 metre tall big bird looking things called moehus. And even cooler, we used to have like the biggest raptor birds ever, called haast eagles, which used to prey on the moa. But they're extinct. So that only leaves the moehou.